belong to the aged, even so have I disposed the world which I created. And I asked, and said, seeing thou hast... And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another?
Right, a woman cannot bring forth a whole bunch of children all at the same time, right? Can only bring, if a woman has twins, can only, you know, those twins can only come out one by one, right? Just like Jacob and Esau, right? They were twins, right? Esau came out first. The prophecy said, the first shall serve the younger. Then Jacob came out holding the heel of Esau, representing that he was going to pull him down, man, at the end. So a woman can't bring forth twins all at the same time, man. That'll rip her up, and then she'll just drop dead, man. So everything is in order. Same thing with the process of the baby being formed in her womb. It's a process, man. 9 months. And then the baby comes out. You can't rush it. You can't, you know, that's the way the Most High set it up.
And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. And I said, she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. Then said he unto me, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged, even so have I disposed the world which I created. And I asked, and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me, and said, ask a woman.
Yeah, and give me a second. It says, verse 50, and I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, and who's the mother? That was talking about the land of Israel, man. Of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. Right.
He answered me, and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the...
Right, we are less of stature nowadays. And I'm sorry, the mother that is drawing nigh to age is the earth. The earth, the whole entire earth, man. Because it's not bringing forth its fruit like it's supposed to. Why? Because, well, one, like I said, is getting old, but two, also Esau done destroyed her, man, polluted her, mistreated her. You know, they don't believe in the land Sabbaths. You know, Apostle Gabar brings that out a lot. You know, they don't follow the laws of how to maintain the earth, how to keep the earth. You know. As far as agriculture goes and cultivating. You know, but that's the devil for you, man. So we're gonna stop there. Second ESDRAS. We're picking up the second ESDRAS, the 5th chapter and the 53rd verse. Shalom.
And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also, how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you, and so are they that come.
Right, because you had giants on the earth. You know, you used to have giants on the earth, man. Tall men probably 14 feet, almost 20 feet, or damn near, or at 20 feet, man, tall, like trees, man, on this earth. Everything was bigger. Animals were bigger. Vegetation was bigger, right? Because earth was fairly new, gave off her strength. And now it is old, and now it doesn't give forth its strength anymore. And then to make it worse, you got a devil, the wicked Esau, right? The so-called white man that have polluted the earth, man. Had no respect for the earth, the waters, the air, the very same air he breathes, man. The very same earth he walks on, he destroyed it. And then got the goddamn nerve to come back and be like, oh, well, we destroyed the earth. Well, we're gonna try to reverse it. You know, we're gonna have Earth Day. Now we're gonna, they try to do all this. It's too damn late, man. You know, the crime has been done, and you're a fugitive on the loose. You gotta answer for these things, and that's why the Son of the Most High, right? The Son of God, Yahweh Shai, is gonna come down to incarcerate you, put chains upon your necks, upon your feet, upon your hands.
And so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old, and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I
yeah, like a man who's let's say, you got these basketball players, right? 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". You know? In this world, that's considered tall. They'll be in the ancient world, they would be considered midgets, man. Small dudes, you know? But in this world today, that's considered tall, because the average height of a man nowadays is what, about 5'8" on up, something like that, 5'9".
Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, shew thy servant by whom thou visitest thy creature. 2 Esdras chapter 6. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys and sun were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other, by me also.
So that's talking about Yahweh, the Most High. Created all things. It said before the innumerable amount of angels came together. So there is you cannot count the amount of angels that are up there. The armies of the Most High, man. That's who's coming to kick Esau's ass. That innumerable amount of angels, man. They're coming. They're gonna come. They're gonna be clad with their armor, and they wear armor. They wear armor, man, because when you go to the story of Heliodorus, he was coming to collect tax from the temple, and the angels approached him. It came down, and I believe it's I gotta go back, right? I believe it said that they were young men, and they were wearing gold armor, man. Ain't that bad? So they come, they're in war apparel, but in style, and they come down to kick ass, man. And they kick that dude's ass, man. You know. As a matter of fact, I keep mentioning it. I want to find that story.
Now when Apollonius came to the king, and had shewed him of the money whereof he was told, the king chose out Heliodorus his treasurer, and sent him with a commandment to bring him the foresaid money. So forthwith Heliodorus took his journey.
Right, so Heliodorus was the treasurer of the tax collector. And let me see. Apollonius, I guess that was the tax collector to the king. and the king had to been Antiochus or Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth. I have to, I have to go back and check that out for sure. Okay.
So forthwith Heliodorus took his journey under a cloud of visiting the cities of Chalcedon and Phoenice, but indeed to fulfill the king's purpose. And when he was come to Jerusalem, and had been courteously received of the high priest of the city, he told him what intelligence was given of the money, and declared wherefore he came, and asked if these things were so indeed. Then the high priest told him that there was such money laid up for the relief of widows and fatherless children, and that some of it belonged to Hyrcanus son of Tobias, a man of great dignity, and not as that wicked Simon had misinformed, the sum whereof in all was 400 talents of silver, and 200 of gold, and that it was altogether impossible that such wrongs should be done unto them that had committed it to the holiness of the place, and to the majesty and inviolable sanctity of the temple, honored over all the world. But Heliodorus, because of the king's commandment given him, said, that in any wise it must be brought into the king's treasury. So at the day which he appointed he entered in to order this matter, wherefore there was no small agony throughout the whole city. But the priests, prostrating themselves before the altar in their priests' vestments, called unto heaven upon him that made a law concerning things given to he kept, that they should safely be preserved for such as had committed them to be kept. Then whoso had looked the high priest in the face, it would have wounded his heart, for his countenance and the changing of his colour declared the inward agony of his mind. For the man was so compassed with fear and horror of the body, that it was manifest to them that looked upon him what sorrow he had now in his heart. Others ran flocking out of their houses to the general supplication, because the place was like to come into contempt. And the women, girt with sackcloth under their breasts, abounded in the streets, and the virgins that were kept in ran, some to the gates, and some to the walls, and others looked out of the windows. And all, holding their hands toward heaven, made supplication. Then it would have pitied a man, to see the falling down of the multitude of all sorts, and the fear of the high priest being in such an agony. They then called upon the Almighty Lord to keep the things committed of trust, safe and sure for those that had committed them. Nevertheless Heliodorus executed that which was decreed. Now as he was there present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Lord of spirits, and the Prince of all power, caused a great apparition, so that all that presumed to come in with him were astonished at the power of God, and fainted, and were sore afraid. For there appeared unto them an horse with a terrible rider upon him, and adorned with a very fair covering, and he ran fiercely, and smote at Heliodorus with his forefeet, and it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had complete harness of gold. Moreover 2 other young...
Alright, so it was one rider upon an angel riding upon a horse that stomped Heliodorus, man. This damn Edomite, okay? Stomped him, man, for trying to come and sack the temple and take its treasures.
Moreover 2 other young men appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty, and comely in apparel, who stood by him on either side, and scourged him continually, and gave him many sore stripes. And Heliodorus fell
So yeah, I'm sorry. So I said that they were wearing armor and stuff, but normally that's what you would read. Angels, dress for battle because they're warriors. The Most High is the power of war. Verse 26 it says, moreover 2 other young men appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty, and comely in apparel. Comely in apparel. They weren't wearing but Versace, man, all right, or Versaces, okay? That's an inside joke. They were wearing armor, man. It was holy armor, man, okay? Who stood by him on either side and scourged him continually and gave him many sore stripes. So they whooped this dude's ass, okay? Physically.
And Heliodorus fell suddenly unto the ground, and was compassed with great darkness, but they that were with him took him up, and put him into a litter. Thus him, that lately came with a great train and with all his guard into the said treasury, they carried out, being unable to help himself with his weapons, and manifestly they acknowledged the power of God, for he by the hand of God was cast down, and lay speechless without all hope of life. But they praised the Lord, that had miraculously honored his own place, for the temple, which a little afore was full of fear and trouble, when the Almighty Lord appeared, was filled with joy and gladness. Then straightway certain of Heliodorus' friends prayed Aeneas that he would call upon the Most High to grant him his life, who lay ready to give up the ghost. So the high priest, suspecting lest the king should misconceive that some treachery had been done to ESDRAS by the Jews, offered a sacrifice for the health of the man. Now as so the high priest.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop there and yeah, we're gonna pick up. Let me see. We're gonna pick up at 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter and the 3rd verse. All right, because I went there about the innumerable multitude of angels. You know, the Lord's army, right? So we're gonna, you know, in part 13, we're gonna pick up 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter and the 3rd verse. Shalom.